Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 110 here at the Nationwide Series at New Hampshire, presented by CC's Pizza. It is Joey Logano. Jason Leffler, courtesy of a two-tire stop, is in second in the 38. Brian Vickers is third. Kyle Busch fourth. Scott Speed is fifth. And Logano trying to check out.
Yeah, this hasn't been his strong suit as far as getting going on the restarts here. They might have made a little air pressure adjustment to see if they could help that this time.
Yeah, they could have, but they didn't have Carl Edwards up there to check out on them. You know, he had that bad pit stop, so he's going to have to fight through this traffic. You saw that was a double file restart, but it's not the kind of double file restart we're going to see starting next week. They're going to line these guys up in their positions double file. So, we got Kenny Wallace gets real loose getting in the corner.
Well, I think
he was lucky to save that.
I think he had a little help from Scott Speed.
Yeah, he's lucky to save that one. But we will see the double file restarts come into play next week at Daytona.
Yeah, talk a little strategy here. How about Jason Leffler taking two tires this time? They're going to have to make one more pit stop, and you would think that might be when everybody will opt for two tires at that time.
Yeah, I would have wanted to wait and do that on that last caution, maybe play that card then. Right now is not really the time to make that work for you, because he's going to be caught with a decision of having to put on 4 tires or yet another 2-tire stop.
There you see the view, and out the back there is from Jason's car, and there's the 18 going underneath him. So Kyle Busch gets around Jason Leffler, so move Kyle into third, going after the 32 of Brian Vickers for second.
Now, they've had a couple opportunities to work on this 18 car in the pits, and I'm thinking they're getting it closer and closer to Kyle's liking.
Yeah, Vickers' car was good last run too, and we heard them say they were going to make a slight track bar adjustment on it, so it'll be interesting to see if that's good enough to get him up there to run with the 20 car.
While all this is going on, I know Carl Edwards fans are saying, wait a minute, update us on that. Well, Carl came out in 8th position. He is still in 8th position. They had a disastrous pit stop, and when we get a chance, we will show it to you, I promise. And there is Carl, as he's got Mike Bliss right in front of him. And in fact, let's take you back and show you what happened. Watch the right front.
Everything goes good right here. You see the car come into the pit stall. Right front tire changer now. You see he doesn't get all the lug nuts off on the first try. This costs a little time, but watch this. He loses even more time dropping lug nuts going back on. Sometimes when you have a problem as a tire changer, it compounds itself because you're trying to make up for that.
All right, guys, shake it off, shake it off. You guys are the best pit crew down there. That's an odd mistake. It's a rare mistake. Don't sweat it. We got another one.
Well, he is now in 9th position, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. As you can see, Dan Stillman, the crew chief right there, as they've got to figure out what they can do on that last pit stop.
This is going to hurt him more than Carl thinks. This is one of those racetracks that track position is extremely critical. We heard Rusty talking in the pre-race show about what are you thinking? What's the driver thinking before this race starts? And he's thinking, I hope I don't have a bad pit stop to put me behind and have to fight this. And this is going to be very hard for Carl to overcome.
It is going to be difficult, but I like Carl's attitude towards that. We've said this a lot of times. He really is a professional, and he takes care of those guys. Just as he said, it doesn't happen often, and he knows that he makes mistakes on the racetrack too. They don't jump all over him, so I like that support of your crew.
Are you saying that there's another driver in this field that might not have been so gracious?
Well, there might be one or so out there.
Scott Speed getting the spot from Leffler. It's looking like the 2-tire stop is not really working out for this team, this 38 team.
Yeah, and talking to a lot of the guys down there before the qualifying this morning, they weren't really sure if that was going to work with this tire and everything this time, because they didn't get enough laps on the tires yesterday. They only got 35 laps of practice, basically.
So now has Jason Leffler told every other crew chief on pit lane, forget about 2 tires?
I think so, yeah, because every one of them are watching this, and you see a car going backwards on 2 tires. And not only that, these other drivers are driving by him. They know he's on 2 tires, so when the caution comes out, that driver's going to be calling for 4.
Yeah, and the other factor that could be there is how many laps are left. Somebody might still take a chance. If you have a little better handling race car, that 2 tires never works good on a race car that's not handling very good, so it may work for some of the guys up front a little better.
Well, all this revolves around last year at lap 129 when we saw a variety of pit stops. We've still got a lot of racing to go, and the Braun Racing team, Jason Leffler, Vickers, Lamar, 32 starts, 7 top 5s. Leffler has had most of them.
ESPN delivers 2 nights of Major League Baseball action, 8 Eastern on Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Alex Rodriguez and the New York Yankees take on David Wright and the Mets as part of the ALNL Showdown, presented by State Farm, interleague play. Then catch Monday Night Baseball at 7 Eastern when the Mets head to Milwaukee to take on Ryan Braun and the Brewers. Major League Baseball, ESPN and ESPN 360, Sunday and Monday. The NASCAR Nationwide Series at New Hampshire, presented by Cici's Pizza. We talked about rain being in the forecast. That is looking across the track from turn 3 beyond turns 1 and 2. It's a little dark out there.
I think it's going to miss us, so Brad.
The wind is picking up just a little bit, so it could blow over us or it could blow into us. But I think we're going to get this thing in. Obviously, we will, because we're past halfway.
Yeah, now we're past the point that it's an official race. So if rain should come in and get closer to the racetrack, that really puts the pressure on these crew chiefs. Remember, these teams are all going to need to stop one more time before this race is done. Joey Logano leads. Brian Vickers is about 0.8 of a second behind him in the yellow car. There's third place Kyle Busch, who had something interesting to say just a minute ago.
Blow it up. Check the gauges. Make sure it's not your battery here. It is. It is what? The battery? If it's a battery, go ahead and switch to 2. All the way to 2, right? Don't go in between. Yeah, all the way to 2. All the way to 2. 2 only.
Explain, please, sir.
Well, he's just got a bad battery, evidently. They have 2 batteries in this car, so he can switch to the backup battery. And evidently, that's probably cleared his problem up. I'm watching his lap times, and they're pretty good right now. They're not too bad, so it appears to me the car's still running okay.
I have no idea what he was just talking about. I think he was playing a little bit with his crew chief there, saying I'm going to go to 2.5. I think he's just teasing, saying the car's not going to blow up, and the battery is actually coming back to life as he switched batteries.
Yeah, remember Tim Brewer showed us over in our Craftsman Tech Garage earlier, the switch to throw over to the backup battery, and maybe it has to do with the way theirs is labeled in their particular car.
I think he's just giving his crew chief a heart attack.
73 laps to go in this one. Another set of pit stops still to come. We'll see how the electrical problems play for Kyle Busch. Remember, Carl Edwards reported some of those earlier too. Carl back in 9th now after that bad pit stop just a bit ago.